Grow Veg UK. Now, I've done a couple of videos already about making compost, and I've extolled the virtues of making compost. I think it's so utterly vital to a healthy garden, particularly if you're growing veg, but really just for anything, you know, plants, flowers, anything like that really. If all the ingredients are locally sourced, not only are you recycling the things that you would throw away and are quite hard to get rid of if you can't burn them on an allotment site, but it's all going to be stuff that's local to you, and it's all going to be local to the garden you're growing in, which is so important. It's going to have all those important microbes, fungal networks, and all those things that are already established in the environment. So I thought I'd make a little series of starting off one of my empty compost bays. 2 out of 3 are full up. I'm going to start another one, and the idea is to spread it in a no-dig fashion. I'll probably do it in mid to early spring, probably end of March. I'll cover all the beds in about 1 inch, 1.5 inches of compost, kind of how Charles Dowding does. So I thought I'd make a few little videos just to show you starting off the heap to eventually spreading it onto the garden and then growing in it, and trialling that against maybe some shop bought compost. So stay tuned. Thank you. Two newer ones. This is the oldest one on the right, starting to resemble compost. Been making this one well this year, so March, April, May, June, July, August, about 6 months. And these two have only been going for a couple of months. You can see on the bottom of the piles that they're resembling, you know, a bit more like compost. And on the top I'm adding the green stuff, which only really becomes available later in the year like this. Earlier in the year I'm using things like grass clippings, cardboard, fallen leaves, horse manure with hay, which gets nice and hot, fresh manure, and it gets a nice heat which kills all the weed seeds and helps decomposition. I cover them up. I do water if needed if they dry out a bit, and so this one is what these will eventually look like, and that's just turning into a lovely compost, quite nice and fluffy. I'm hoping by March, the end of March, all of these will resemble that end one. In fact, they'll look much better than that. They'll be proper compost, fairly nice and light and fluffy. There might be a few woody bits, but that's fine to spread on the beds. I'll put about 1.5 inches on all the beds in a no-dig fashion to feed the soil. So I'm pretty happy with this year's compost. So a few of the things that you can put into your compost heap at this time of year, or really any time of year to be fair. So I've got some horse manure here, which is semi-rotted. It's actually looking quite nice, almost like compost already to be fair, but fresh is good because it gets the heap nice and hot. Here I've got grass clippings, free to anybody. I'm shameless, so I'll go around the allotment sites and I'll bag up a load of this and use it because nobody else does. Wood chip, lovely bit of wood chip there. That'll rot down nicely, might take a little while, but it doesn't matter if there's a bit of wood in the end product. It's just going on my beds anyway. You know, vegetative stuff. There's a bit of old pumpkin there that rotted. Dahlia head from a dahlia that's gone over. It was magnificent when it was alive. You know, just general green stuff. We've got pumpkin leaves, tomato leaves here. Cardboard, it's a really good brown component, so all the green things and the living things, the leaves, they're greens, cardboard, fallen leaves, wood chip are browns. The green gets a nice heat into the pile, whereas the brown just sort of bulks it out for me and rots down a bit slower. So just an idea of a few different things that you could use in your heap. We are lucky enough to have a wood chip pile on our allotment. Council come and dump a load every now and then, and I tend to get the stuff from the bottom which is already decomposing a little bit, and I'll add that to the piles, and it's a really valuable resource. What I tend to do is pile a load of that on top of the green, just to kind of keep the green in and help to rot it down. Then I'll cover the piles up until I need them with some tarpaulin, turning maybe once halfway through. And I've got some sweet corn husks. They were just mullered by the squirrels, little buggers. But you know, squirrels have got to eat, I guess. And if gardening's taught me anything, of course it's demoralising. You grow this stuff from seed and you know it gets eaten, but gardening's taught me patience, so much patience, and how to deal with disappointment as well as some roaring successes that I've had. So these are going to compost. They're not wasted, nothing is wasted.